Okay, Happy New Year. This is January 1st, 2024. And let me move this camera a bit closer where I'm sitting. I was going to make this video last night, but I had not charged the battery in my camera, and after going out and walking around and taking pictures of birds and making videos out on the street and things like that, my battery was pretty dead. So I recorded for about 10 seconds, and then I saw the little red light flashing and I gave it up. Now this is a beard. I can pull on it. Like, this is actually hair. It's like more than a finger length. I'm still fascinated by the fact that I have a beard. Now, the first thing I'm going to talk about is Japanese tradition, or superstition might be a better word. And I'm just going to pull it up on my tablet here on Wikipedia. And I'll show you there. Is it going to focus? Maybe not. Well, anyway, it says Hatsuyume. It won't focus. Well, that was dumb. Can I just move this lens back? Anyway, Hatsuyume. Hatsuyume means first dream of the year. So this is from Wikipedia, but I've checked other websites that all says the same thing. In Japanese culture, a Hatsuyume is the first dream one has in the new year, and traditionally the contents of such a dream would foretell the luck of the dreamer in the ensuing year. It does specify that if you didn't sleep the night of the 31st into the morning of the 1st, then your Hatsuyume would be the night of January 1st. But last night I did actually sleep, and I did have a dream which I remember. So I had the dream, and I was thinking about the dream for a while. And I actually had to check some things to make sure the dream wasn't real. And then later I remembered the superstition, and I started thinking about the meaning of the dream. What could the dream possibly mean? So basically in the dream, and this was very realistic, I thought this was actually happening. In the dream, I was in my bed, having woken up, before my alarm, for no reason, not wanting to wake up, but just having woken up, which is what happens to me quite a bit. I wake up for no reason. I'll go to bed and, I'll sleep for like 2 hours and then wake up ready to go. So I'm kind of sleeping in chunks rather than in larger blocks. But I reached down next to my bed and picked up my hair trimmer that I bought and used once to cut my hair stupid short. There's a video with that hair somewhere on this channel. And I started shaving just by feel and trying to trim this into something more manageable, because I thought I want to keep the beard, but I want the beard to be, better maintained. But then I noticed I could feel my skin, not the shorter hair, and I thought maybe I had the clipper set on the wrong setting. So I took the clippers to my mirror, which is really small. I don't have proper mirrors here to really do work on my hair, which is something unfortunate, because I'd like to get to have more skill at using these clippers for my own hair. But anyway, I looked in the mirror and this was all skin. I'd shaved like most of this off, and I thought, well, and I'd shaved a bit too much in here to keep like a Van Dyke kind of mustache and beard around the nose and mouth and chin area. So I thought, I wanted to keep the beard, but, I can't have half shaved and half not. So then I started just using the clipper to shave it off, and it came off so easily. It just came off like I was washing my face. That should have been my first clue that this was a dream, because that's not what's going to happen. It's not going to come off like that. So then when I got over here and I started doing this sideburn, I realized the sideburns were uneven. And this one was too high. So I made this one a bit higher. and I went back, and they were still uneven, and I wound up making this one really high. And I thought, now it looks terrible. Let me bring this back down a bit. So then I put the razor back up and I pulled the sideburn back down, and the hair returned. Then my brain said, no, this is not something you can do. You can't make your hair return with, hair trimmers. So then I did a few other little exercises in my brain to confirm that this was a dream, because I am capable of lucid dreaming, which means I'm aware that I'm dreaming and I can manipulate things in the dream. And I can either continue dreaming in that state, which is sometimes really fun, or I can just let it go and wake up. So in this case, I just opened my eyes in my bed and I put my hand up and all the hair was there, and I was so relieved. And I thought, wow, that was just a dream. Oh, I didn't really do that. But I did go to the mirror, the actual mirror, and check that my hair was still there. Then I went back into the bed. And I was lying there, not able to fall back to sleep, and I started thinking, this is January 1st, this is New Year's Day, and that was my first dream of the year, and I remembered the Japanese superstition, Hatsuyume. So then I started thinking about what that dream might mean, because of course dreams are just dreams. They're just your brain clearing things out or letting you sort things that you don't want to keep. And any meaning beyond that is what you impose on it. It's often just random things that don't make any sense, but you can force a narrative onto it or force a meaning onto it by yourself. That's how I look at it anyway. Your brain's just like sweeping out things you don't want to keep. And I have been thinking a lot about what I should do with my beard and how I should try to maintain and control my beard. And my brain was sweeping that out. But then I thought, let's play the game. Let's do the superstition, Hatsuyume. Maybe this means I don't want to go back. I want to stay like this or continue along this path. So that might be my prophetic dream for the new year. I don't want to go back. I don't want to return to where I was before or what I was doing before or how I was living before. I want to, keep what's happening now and extend it and continue it into something further. And maybe this beard is a physical representation of that. And then the dream, could be interpreted as that, reluctance to revert, reluctance to go back to what was happening before. Anyway, that was my Hatsuyume. And I think I want to keep that interpretation of the dream. I want to keep that meaning of the dream. Because I think that's actually true. I'm not totally sure. I haven't totally decided. Or maybe I haven't committed to a decision that I've already made and am not fully recognizing or not fully admitting to. But I don't want to go back to the way things were before necessarily. I want to, go to something new. 32 years, I was doing largely the same thing. And I enjoyed it, but at the same time, it was stagnant, it was static, and I was just waiting for the right time to do certain things. So now I have the right time. But it is January 1st, it is a new year, and, I've got a few things I want to do during this week. This week, most companies are going to be shut down. Most people are going to be off until the 4th. So 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, that's Thursday. Some people probably added some extra holidays, so they'll be off on the Friday the 5th and then into the next weekend, depending on how their company has their holiday system working. When I first came to Japan, everything would be shut for like 3 or 4 days. The 31st and then January 1st, 2nd, the 3rd. So many things would be closed, including banks. So if you hadn't taken out money, you didn't have cash. And my first winter holiday here in Japan was horrific. because nobody I worked with told me that. They just assumed this was standard. Standard means ATMs are 24 hours. They're open all the time. You can always get cash. And even now in Japan, at banks, ATMs close at 9 p.m. or they close at 12 a.m., midnight. Or on holidays like national holidays or Saturdays and Sundays, they might close at 6. Even now, it's 32 years. You can go to convenience stores or other places where they have ATMs, but you have to pay ATM fees to access your cash. You can't just go to your bank and take out your money. Even now, ATMs are virtually useless. And I'm sure the banks still close and you can't access the ATM on certain days in April and May for Golden Week, or around now, the end of December, beginning of January for the Oshogatsu New Year's holiday season. So there have been some slight improvements, but Japanese, consumers should complain more. There is absolutely no reason for ATMs to shut down at all. You can go to the bank on a Saturday or a Sunday when there's no staff in the bank, and you can go in and use the ATMs. There's some kind of time lock on the door, or there's somebody who comes and makes sure the door's open and then makes sure it's closed. But I've been there around the time when that service shuts down, and I don't think there are any staff who are there to lock those doors. I think the doors are just on a timer. And they don't need staff to be present, obviously, because Saturday and Sunday there are no bank staff available. So why would that change after 9 p.m. or after 12 a.m.? There's no one available. It's just ridiculous not to allow that service. There's nobody squatting inside the ATM counting the money that you put in and giving you the money through the slot, and they have to go home and have dinner, or they have to sleep. It's a machine. So even in Kipling, 1,200 people from the 80s, the ATM at the bank downtown was open 24 hours. Nothing else is open after 6 except for the gas station, which closes around 9 or 10. But you can still get cash at the ATM, which is handy. If you're going to be taking a trip and leaving early in the morning before the bank opens, you want to make sure you can get some cash, you go to the ATM. So enough rambling about ATMs. That was my Hatsuyume. I shaved off half of my beard in my bed with my eyes closed just by touch, and woke up so relieved that it was only a dream. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is just to go over something with my smartphone situation before. Now, I had powered this off completely, and it turned itself back on, and now the battery's down to 52%. So I'll make sure it's shut off properly before. But anyway, what I do when I come home, blam, airplane mode. So this doesn't access the internet at all. And when I want to use it at home, which I actually had to this past weekend, I'll just turn off airplane mode and use my home Wi-Fi, because my data that I get through the phone company, through the Docomo service, has a limit per month. It's 3 gigabytes, that's plenty, but I'd rather not have my data being used for something I'm not aware of, because there are some apps that are always on the internet. I've gone through all the apps and turned off anything that automatically tries to connect to the internet, so I don't think that's going to happen. But if I turn off airplane mode, and now it says I've got my Wi-Fi available, but my mobile data won't connect. If I turn off my Wi-Fi, now I've got nothing. But if I turn on my mobile data, now I can get potentially 5G, but the service I have is it's a lower priority. So if the network's very busy, it goes for the next busiest option, which is 4G or something that's called 4G plus. I don't know. But so far, since I've had this SIM card installed, I've used 18.27 megabytes of data when I was out on the street. And that was just checking Google Map to make sure that my SIM card was working. Just opening Google Map, just seeing if I was actually connecting to the internet. But I had to connect to the internet using my SIM card data, using 4G rather than my Wi-Fi, because I installed the Domino's Pizza app. And if you want access to all of the coupons, like 50% off a large pizza, or free double sides, or things like that, you have to, number one, install the app and install all of the data and everything and log in, which requires you to go through that reCAPTCHA identification system where you prove that you're not a bot, and you have to look at the picture and click all of the fire hydrants, or look at the grid of pictures and click all of the crosswalks, and then you submit that to prove that you're not a robot. Now from the PC I don't have to do that, but from a mobile device like my tablet or my smartphone you have to. And it just kept cycling through the reCAPTCHA identification system over and over and over, and I correctly identified it, I submitted it, and then it relaunched it, and I couldn't log in. And I thought, something's wrong with this. Like, how many times do you have to do it before it recognizes you? So I did a little Googling, and I found that if you're using a Wi-Fi network, sometimes the Wi-Fi drops in and out, apparently, so the CAPTCHA system loses connectivity and won't register properly. So I thought, that's just weird. Why would that happen? My Wi-Fi is, as fast or faster, and definitely, as stable, or I thought more stable than using my SIM card. So I turned off my Wi-Fi, turned on my mobile data, turned off airplane mode and everything, of course, turned on my SIM card. Boom, finished CAPTCHA the first time. And now this app is installed and it's all verified, so it knows that I'm a real person. And then I turned off the SIM card and turned back on the Wi-Fi and completed my order using all of the coupons. Now on the PC version, no coupons at all in the coupon box. There are coupons, but if you try to use them, it says you can't use them from this device. So I don't know about other services, but for Domino's Pizza, you can't use the coupons unless you use the app from a mobile device. You can't use the coupons from a PC. So I think there are a lot of things that want you to use your mobile device rather than a regular PC. Amazon doesn't care. Regular ordering from a Domino's Pizza doesn't care. Uber Eats, you need a mobile device. You can't use Uber Eats from PC. And I also used Uber Eats to get some Kentucky Fried Chicken delivered. And I used the phone to get some McDonald's delivered. So I've just tried that a couple of times to see how this food delivery thing works. And, it is handy in some ways. There's some food that I can't get near here that I might want once in a while. But Uber Eats does have a delivery fee depending on the size of the order, things like that. But anyway, that was my little adventure with my phone. I found out that the reCAPTCHA identification system to prove that you're not a bot might need an actual mobile device, rather using 4G, 5G, using mobile data rather than using Wi-Fi, which I thought was weird. So if any of you have used that reCAPTCHA identification system with your home Wi-Fi and it succeeded, let me know, because I couldn't do it here over and over and over again from my tablet, from my phone, and from my PC. It just wouldn't. On PC, didn't ask me to do it, I'm sorry. But from my tablet, from my phone, it wouldn't do it. Now, the problem I found when I was failing to get my SIM card working was this little bottom part here says access points. It says access point names. So that's what I had to click and then set up this phone, I guess, as an access point. And Docomo had some good information on their website for how to do that. So I guess that might have been a problem for people who had their own phone. Let's see what's happening here. People who bought their phone and then wanted to install a SIM card would have to set up an access point in that phone or tablet or whatever. And when you get it through the phone company, it's all set up for you. But when you bring your own phone, it might not be set up at all. This was unboxed and tested, but actually unused. So basically an unopened, unused, unlocked, SIM-free phone, and had not been set up for anything. It just, powered on to make sure that it worked. And then okay, now my Wi-Fi is back on. And then the phone was functioning, and then they sold it. Nothing else had been set up. So now it's back connected to Wi-Fi. And I'm going to totally confirm that I'm turning off the power. Power menu. And power off. And it's turning off. So it shouldn't have turned on like it did automatically when I opened it up today. So I'm gonna plug it in and charge it, but oh, I forgot to turn on airplane mode. Yeah, now it's off. It's totally off. It did say that it will install things when it's off and not in use. So maybe they downloaded something and installed it and then turn it back on to finish something and then just let it go back to sleep without turning itself off. But I'll make sure airplane mode's on so this won't do anything when I'm not using it. And then I will charge it. So this is my long rambly video about my dream and about my phone. Thank you for watching. And I'm up earlier than I normally would be, or normally have been getting up. So I'm going to try to make the most of this first day of the new year. I hope you're having a good New Year's Day. And thank you for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.